This is Bashman's son with Silent Addy.
Yo, this is Disco Neil, and we're here with On The Radar doing the beat breakdown for Shake It to the Max.
And if you hear this sound, then go and bend your back, go and bend your knees, baby, shake it to the max. DJ, please turn up the bass to the max. Please just rewind, let me shake it to the max. 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 Please just rewind, let me shake it.
Yeah, well, how did the beat come about? Like you said, like rhythms are definitely a huge part of dancehall culture. Like coming up, even in like the golden era, it was a lot of rhythms that were running the place and multiple tracks on one beat. And I feel like Shake It to the Max has kind of brought that back to the forefront. And I feel like it's happened organically too. Like I feel like a lot of the artists were hyped to get on the rhythm, and with its success off rip, I feel like just being able to have a beat with the Moliy as the original, then we have the Shensia and Skilly dropping after that, and then we have, a Sean Paul verse that got teased online, and there's so many other versions, in store. So yeah, I definitely think it's a nod back to that dancehall culture and rhythm culture, and I feel like that's important. We gotta keep it running.
Basically, the beat was inspired by we're DJs first, producers second. So, we know like what moved the people, so it's traveling all around and seeing that like, the older dancehall, that bunks is what moving the people. So we basically tried to capture that essence and make it new and fresh and exciting, and basically that's what we do. It's like a dancehall never went nowhere, but it's a dancehall revival kind of.
Yeah. Initially, it's just, the internet is amazing. It's amazing how quickly something can catch and just be everywhere overnight. I think that was the biggest thing for me.
Yo, honestly, we haven't really like gone out into the world to really like feel the energy, but now is when we're starting to travel. We're in Toronto the other day, and the song is the biggest song in Toronto. I went to Guyana the other day. I couldn't go like one place without but it's just a couple places, and then we went to Jamaica, so we're definitely feeling the energy more. But yeah, like I feel like this summer, I feel like it don't really fully unlock where it going goes.
Which is crazy because it's gone so far already, but yeah, it does feel like that. Feels like it's still climbing.
So we have our home studio is in Miami, and we did a session with one of our producer homies, and he brought Moliy, and based off of that session, we basically just kept the link with her, and we ended up just working more. So when she recorded Shakes to the Max, that was actually like, I think either the third or fourth time she'd been to the crib.
Yeah.
And she was living in Orlando at the time, so she would take the Bright Line down, which is a train that come to Miami, and then she would just like crash at the crib. So like right before she linked us, and she was like, yo, I'm going back to Ghana. And I was like, yo, we have this record. It's a record what nobody never hear yet, but it's crazy. Another record with Moliy. I was like, yo, before you leave, I need you to come to the crib and finish this record, because I don't know if you're gonna do it once you go back to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the workflow is gonna be like. So anyway, so we got her to come to the crib. She finished the record, and then when she finished that record, Neil played Shake It to the Max, the beat,
and
for her, and she did Shake It to the Max, and then left and went to Ghana, and the rest is history.
I feel like the process was. It actually was pretty smooth. Like once I played the beat, she was definitely like, yeah, ready. And then she took her. She was like, yo, I need to take a second, and like we need to make this one right. Like so, immediately she did notice something, feel something. I kind of was like, listen to her tone, and I was like, yo, her tone could go crazy over this. But you still got to play it for the artist, and hopefully they gravitate towards certain things. But yeah, I feel like the stars aligned. She was just like, yeah, I like it. Let's go. And yeah, it was, the rest is, like you said, the rest is history. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to Jamaica like this. We released a record in December, and usually I'd go to Jamaica like for Christmas time to spend time with my family and stuff. But that's when a lot of the biggest events of the year happen in Jamaica around Christmas time, you know. So I was like going to all the parties and then going to the DJs and saying, yo, play my record. Plus they kind of knew it already because it was already popping on TikTok. So it wasn't really a hard sell. And then I ended up going to this one party, which is one of the biggest parties in Christmas time, named Zimise Brunch. And just ran into Skilly. Skilly came into the party and I was like, yo, like, what's up? What remix? And right after I said that, like literally 20 minutes later, the DJ played Shake It to the Max and the crowd went crazy. So, yo, the man, he just DM'd me same time. I was like, yo, send me the beat. No. And Neil was in Miami at the time. I called, literally, I left the party early, like right after that, I got the message. I called Neil, I was like, yo, Skilly said send the instrumental, I need an open verse. No, like no hitch, you know? And I was like, yeah, like this is actually what we need. Like the stars kind of aligned with that one too, you know what I'm saying? Because like it just was random, you know, but it worked. Yeah. And he was just as excited about the record than like we were. Yeah. When he did his verse, he was like promoting that every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that's like almost universal with every artist that has jumped on it. Like they've been hype about being on it. So yeah, their energy on socials has been different, and that's helped push the record. And yeah, huge part. Well, all right, we have the Shenseea and Skilly. Everybody's heard that already. We have a Vibes Cartel that we're waiting for the summer.
With Steph London.
So that should be crazy. We have, everybody's seen the video with Sean, so we have a Sean Paul as well. That's definitely gonna be crazy also. We have a soca remix with two big soca artists. I don't know, do you want to tell them or we leave that a secret? Yeah. But yeah, so we're definitely trying to tap into all the genres, and just like we said, we're trying to bridge gaps in the world, like with this music. So that's why we've gone to, you know, Paris and France and gotten Kalash and Maureen. Like they're crazy over there. Their energy is through the roof. So yeah, to have them involved on the project too, them being huge inspirations for the music as well. But yeah, we're just trying to bridge those gaps between different parts of the world with the music, you know?
Our biggest inspirations in it is, funny enough, is everybody who has touched Shake It to the Max rhythm so far are basically our inspirations. So that's Skilly, Shenseea, Sean Paul, Shaggy. I don't know if we can say that. But yeah, Shaggy, Vibes Cartel. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll have Steph London too, who is also, you know, very popular. And we were fans of Steph London before
this, yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like we got to work with all of the people who inspired our sound, you know. So not everybody, but the top people, like almost. I was super happy that Shenseea's part went crazy viral, because like it was lit, because like Skilly already had the energy, so I didn't know, it was like kind of hard to take that vibe because Skilly went so crazy on it. Yeah. So when Shenseea dropped, I was like, yeah, like once the girls liked it, I was like, yeah, we got it.
Once it had its separate viral dance, because the first dance was Moliy, and then there was the next dance was like for Shen's part. So yeah, I helped that helped fuel her verse too, and just added, just went crazy. I mean, with me, like my all my background is Jamaican. My parents, my grandparents on both sides. So I was born here in the States, but all my heritage is Jamaican heritage. So yeah, I feel like my parents, my dad especially, was just into music. On Sundays, we would listen to Dennis Brown, Bob Marley, all those things that I feel like a lot of Jamaican families listen to on a Sunday. But I feel like music was a huge part of growing up and just always playing in the house, and who is that, and asking, like, you know, checking in. But I feel like that is one inspiration, and then that kind of just led to me DJing at an early age, and then just going from there.
Yeah, I'm also, both of my parents are Jamaican too, and I mean, I got into music from going to Jamaica as a teenager, because you can go or at a younger age in Jamaica, you know. So I would go to all the parties, and then, you know, my dad already was connected in the music scene. So, you know, big up to people like Jazzy T from Renaissance, you know, like some of the top sound systems in Jamaica. When I was just starting music, they kind of influenced me to be a DJ. And then being in Miami, linking up with Black Chinese, Super Dubs, Bobby Chin, Willie Chin, Walzer Fire. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, I started out with actually Acid and Soundforge. And then from there, I went to school. I went to Full Sail. Shout out to Full Sail. Their curriculum is more Pro Tools oriented. So after I left Full Sail, I was more on Pro Tools and Logic. Then I switched over from Logic to Ableton, and yeah, now I just use Ableton to produce and then bring it over to Pro Tools to then record after that.
Yeah, mine is kind of not as deep as Neil, but it definitely started with Sony Acid and then moved into Ableton. I feel like those two are very similar with like the hotkeys and stuff like that. So it wasn't hard for me to move to Ableton, but yeah.
A lot of times we just we'll start by just talking about like ideas, concepts. We'll be listening to stuff from different parts of the world and just finding.
We live in the same place, so like our home studio, our living room is our studio. So
studio.
like literally, like as we wake up, we're cooking
music.
till we go to bed, and you know what I'm saying. So it's a 24/7 kind of vibe. So
really
if I have an idea, I can literally just walk right to the room next door and say, "Yo, Neil, idea, let's go." You know what I'm saying? And that's how we work. Like as soon as it forward, we just cook.
We've been in the same circle from DJing, so I feel like we never really linked on a regular basis, but we were in the same circles and knew of each other and had close friends.
And both of us come from the same area called Southwest Miami. Like it's like a Southwest cruise. Black Chinese came from Southwest. A lot of big DJs from Miami in the dancehall scene came from this area. So we were both like, we were moving on the same path, but he was there and we was over here until we ended up connecting, which was like what, 2017 or something. Not even before that, 26.
Yeah, somewhere on there. Yeah.
But and then we found out that we're related, so it's crazy. We're like actually cousins.
Like recently. That's crazy. Plugins. I love Waves. Waves. Gotta shout out Waves. Waves is like the core. If you want to get fancy, Universal Audio, Valhalla, always sick, Antares for auto-tune. Shout out to all these companies. Send me a sponsorship.
For real.
Yeah. So I feel like Sound Toys. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything else. So I feel like those are the main. If I have those, I feel like I'm good in any session. The Universal Audio though is a top notch in my opinion, but a little bit more to set up and move around with that rig. But shout out to Waves, shout out to Valhalla, shout out to Sound Toys, shout out to Antares.
Yo, Niels is a plug-in man. So
A memorable moment for me, it was linking with Buju and working on some music recently. He's somebody I grew up on, and he was one of the artists when I say on a Sunday playing in the house, he was one of them. So it's kind of full circle moment to be in the studio with him. So that was a memorable moment for me. Yeah,
that was a crazy session because like we got the invite for that session and we thought we were gonna walk into like a session with just mad people and it was just us and Buju.
Yeah.
It was mad. Legendary session for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I do feel like Shake It to the Max opened a lot of people's eyes. I feel like that was a lot of the vision that we had for the music from the beginning. We talk about this and we talk about where the music is at right now and what the music needs, and all those are conversations that we have before we go into making any records. So it's a lot of it is very conscious, very, strategic, more than people would think. I feel like this kind of brought things back to like golden era, made people feel nostalgic towards that era of dancehall again. And I feel like it's just gonna give more awareness to people to be like, oh wow, okay, that does work, you know? You can go that route, and that route has been proven over time too to work. But I just feel like it's strayed from that a little bit. And yeah, I just feel like this is kind of like a breath of fresh air for a lot of people, and just like, yeah, bring it back, like I said, to that nostalgic time, you know?
I think what's next is like what we plan to build out, you know, with this with the momentum of Shake It to the Max, you know, Bashment Sound, which is like where we're gonna tour as DJs, producers. And then we have our Bashment events, and then we have a Bashment merch and our record label. So, you know, we're gonna use all of this to develop new artists, you know what I'm saying, work with popping artists, but just like on a top quality level, like
worldwide
Shake It to the Max.
too.
Yeah, you know. So basically that's what we're doing. We bridging the gap from the Caribbean, like bringing the Caribbean to the world, you know.
Yeah.
We're playing our part, you know what I'm saying? We're not the only ones, yeah. Big up to everybody who do this like every day.
No,
too,
for
you know what
sure.
I'm
Big up to everybody pushing the culture. Like that. Let's go. I would say, yo, do your research. Don't be afraid to be like go in and learn about all this, where the origins, like study this shit. You know what I mean? Like take it seriously. Music, if there's one thing this whole situation taught me, is that music is powerful. So treat it accordingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the number one thing is consistency is key. You know what I'm saying? It might sound cliche, but like literally, you know what I'm saying? When Skilly Banks are brick upon brick, that mean like, yeah, you have to lay the foundation and build brick upon brick, and don't get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody could have do it, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody can do it. It's just who's willing to put in the work to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Consistent.
All right, so we're gonna go into the beat breakdown of Shake It to the Max. So we're gonna start. We kind of started with a kick, but the kick kind of had a couple layers added to it. So it had like an 808 mixed in with some other stuff. So we started it off like this. This kind of set the foundation. And then after that, I was looking for a snare. Then after we got the snares, then I was looking for like a little hi-hat vibe. So then we found this. Kind of put it at a little swing, so it had some feel to it. And then we went into like some of the melody. Now some of the melodies, it has a percussive element to it too. So let me just mute these. I'll go solo. So see, that had a little bit of melody, but a little bit of percussion to it too. And then just, okay. This was kind of like a tuba vibes, but it kind of gave like a bass element, you know, without it being a full bass. And then some more melody. This was another synth we added in. Now this one. This was the melody that killed everything right here. So it was a flute. You know? And then it kind of mixes up. Kind of had it switch up every like 8 bars. And then we added some like whistles. But it's in the same kind of vibes. So now this is like the melodic element, the percussive element. And then it was like sprinkling like sound effects and different vibes. All right, that sound is crazy because that sound is from Showtime, classic dancehall rhythm. Anybody that knows Showtime knows knows that sound. So yeah, that definitely, you know, is a nod to dancehall in the middle of all this. Very important. And it adds a vibe. And then really after that, I found those risers. You see, those risers came in crazy because they give the build up. And then we could just add in the vocals.
Bad man she love, bad man she love, yeah. Bad man she love.
So now that part, when we arranged it, I wanted to have a intro part to each verse. So that's why we had that little 4 bars where he comes in and says, bad man she love, and it just builds up. It's crazy how that came out because that's like one of the most iconic parts of the song. But yeah, the thought process originally was just to get a nice little intro to kind of build into the verse.
Classy, real bad girl, ma get nasty.
So that had the same 4 bar like build up before the drop came in. So I feel like that little formula was worked out crazy and just like, yeah, it just took the energy level straight through. Like I feel like there's energy straight through the song from the beginning to the end. So yeah, that's pretty much the beat breakdown of Shake It to the Max.
We're starting a beat making school, Bashment Academy.
Yo, this is Bashment Sound and we're here with On the Radar. Thank you for tuning in.
Up.